I would say the Lord really ambushed my life, not because I don't have like a radical testimony of like a major conversion or anything like that. But it was like the Lord almost just decided to say like, it's time to get really serious about this.
Let's go.
And let's pursue a calling. And so the competitive side in me was almost like in response to feeling like I'm called by the Lord is, then you have to be a pastor.
Sure.
If you're going to faithfully walk through a call of the Lord,
That's
the only way to do that,
thing.
the only way to do that is through, pursuing being a pastor.
Sure.
And so that's when I, started to learn a tremendous amount about like, it isn't just that. It
Right.
can be that, but it's not just that.
Absolutely. That's amazing, man. So I got to talk about team sports. I feel like it shapes us in so much of my life I can correlate back to team sports. Do you feel the same way about
Absolutely.
that? Like
Yep.
It's everything, isn't
Yep.
it?
Absolutely.
Like to your business, to your ministry, to your family.
Yep.
Like just having that team environment and a common goal. I always just like to point that out because I think it's so important. And there's a part of me that feels like we're losing it a touch these days, just with how, travel ball at like 6 years old, it's just insane. So like just losing that, like that honest, just like having like a team that you're a part of and get in where you fit in and, being able to like build or like grow together and get better as a player and get better as a teammate. I just think it's so important.
Yeah, I agree entirely, especially when you're forced to rely on your teammates because you can't do everything on your own.
Absolutely.
I think that there's so many life lessons in that. Yeah.
And being there when you fall short,
Absolutely.
like you can't win them all. What was the professional or what company brought you here? You don't have to name the company, but what type of company? What kind of business?
It's a technology company.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So I was a sales manager for a technology company. I had actually been in that same industry since 2009.
Okay.
And so I knew that industry really well. I worked for an amazing company. Actually, my uncle was the vice president of sales.
Okay.
Was gracious enough to interview me when I was probably way too young to even, get an interview. I started when I was 23 there. Was a business development rep, was an account executive, became a sales manager.
Nice.
And then from there is when I was pursued by a company here in Nashville. And so they relocated my family. And it was what was really interesting about that was everything was so new to us, except for the job. The people were new, the walls were new, but inside of the four walls, I remember telling my wife, like, inside of these four walls, I know exactly what I'm doing.
Right.
I get outside of this building, I have no idea where I'm at.
That's crazy.
And